G'day.
Hi, I'm Bianca,
I'm Grant.
and today we wanted to take you through our trailer. So what type of trailer do we have?
We have a 2016 Black Series GIC.
Forward fold Patron Camper trailer.
Yeah, it's fully off-road. It's fairly lightweight. The V8 Landcruiser, pulls it without a drama. We did the Telegraph track a few years ago, not a drama. Barely even knew it was there. It goes everywhere we want it to go. And it has everything, more or less, everything that we need. So,
yeah, great. It's a pretty good rig, and let's take you for a tour. Okay, so we'll start here at our kitchen. So probably one of the most used spaces, apart from the bed. So we have a sink here. It's only cold water tap. There is a light here, bench, and under here is our 3-burner stove. So there is a little switch here that indicates that you can press it to light the stove, but this does not work. Don't be fooled. You have to use a actual lighter to light this stove. So what else do we have? We have our drawer here. So this is our kitchen drawer. So we keep all our utensils in here. Originally it came with a molded drawer space, which we have taken out and replaced with a couple of little things that I think I either got from Kmart or the reject shop, and it holds everything that we need. This is our other drawer, which we just keep our soap and just washing up things, garbage bags, nothing too exciting inside that drawer. And then on our front here, it's just really access underneath the sink. We have our cold water plug here, which just plugs in, and then this is for the light, which just goes through here, and then a bit of a 12-volt voltage there. Additions that we've done here is I've just added these elastic bands here, so as you can see, I keep my tea towels there just so they can dry and air out.
Another addition is a windbreak for the stove. We found that the glass cover doesn't really do much in terms of keeping the jets going. Without the windbreak, it can take forever to boil a kettle, and when you get up in the morning, you want a coffee. I want to sit there waiting when it's blowing a gale. Or even a small breeze. So what I've done, my father and I, we had a bit of stainless steel sheet and we made our own just to sort of get us by. Okay, with the magic of television, there she is. It's rough, does the job quite well. Other makers tend to make their own, and it's, as you'd expect, really nice and schmick looking. Does the job. It folds down in 3 pieces. It's sturdy. From afar, good from afar, but far from good, as some would say. But yeah, just a homemade job. It hasn't really let us down so far. So
next part of, I guess, our kitchen is this, which probably supposed to be a pantry drawer, but we have it with our just pots and pans and plates in here. So we have kettles, we've got this nice saucepans, come from Aldi, and they're just ones with the detachable handles. So really, really good piece of kit, these. Definitely recommend if they come on sale at Aldi again for anybody to get those. We also have, if I can get it out, this griddle plate that is from IKEA, which is fantastic. We love cooking on that. And the other faves we have in here is this really great big mixing bowl. Great, we make pancakes and damper and everything using this. And I think I got this off eBay probably about 10 years ago. And it's still going strong there. And these collapsible containers are from Flat Stack, and these are pretty good. Now, I have got ones from Aldi before, and the silicon's not as hard, and they don't stand up as well, and they kind of collapse on themselves really easily, whereas these ones are really high quality. Chopping boards, etc. Up the top here, we just have some tea towels, and then we have our poles.
While we're here, do you want to do a bit of a run through of our awning poles?
Yeah, so we've got the awning attaches up here.
So I'll just come up here and show you. So right up here, where it's really hard to get to, is a little pocket. That's where your poles go into. On the other side, got these loops. They are what hold your awning up. Now with the manufacturer, they give you these poles with a hook. The hook, sorry, but it's useless. It comes out, a bit of a breeze, you're trying to set it up, frustrating as all get out. So I got butt of it and I did a bit of DIY. You know, it's not like it's not like the wind guard. It's a bit better. So this is what I've done.
This is what the original one.
This is what the original ones were like. These hook straight onto the loop, and once they're there, they just flap in the breeze until you set them up, and then happy days. You can shake them around, you can flip them up and down, they're not coming out. Red hot tip, if you've got one of these things, or if you're thinking of getting one and it doesn't have something like this, even a carabiner, do it. It's going to save a lot of arguments and a lot of frustration when you're trying to set up in a hurry.
I definitely agree with that. So we probably would have taken us maybe 20 minutes to put up the awning with the old poles, whereas this, we can clip this on first, then put the roof on, velcro it to these poles, and then stand it up, and it probably is maybe 7 minutes. It's so much easier.
Yeah, it's definitely the way to go. So you just can have that one for free.
So the next part is our fridge.
Okay, that was a little bit hard to open because
it's because we broke the little lat in here that holds the fridge slide back, and the trailer's currently on a little bit of a lean. We didn't level it out perfectly, so the fridge slide is just sliding it by itself. So what do we keep in here? So we've only got a Waco CFX. I think it's a 65. So it's only it's a medium size fridge, and this fridge slide could probably fit a 90 litre in. So we don't take up all the space, so we use the space around to store some other things. So I've got a washing up rack. We have a hot plate here that just fits across onto the kitchen stove. Which is perfect. Perfect. This is from Aldi. Again, if they have them on sale, highly recommend.
we are open to sponsorship by Aldi. I'm just putting it out there because most of the stuff that we have is from Aldi, and they do some great stuff. So yeah.
We have a jaffle iron. We've got a camp oven back here. On the other side back here is just some, I guess we've got like baking paper and Glad wrap.
Miscellaneous
wipes.
kitchen and housekeeping items.
Yeah, cleaning stuff. We've got a broom. This one, actually just got it from Coles, I think. It's one with an extendable handle, which is one of my favourites.
Yeah.
Because it fits nicely in here. And then this is another Aldi special, which is a waffle iron, which I haven't used yet. I'm keen to test that out and see how that goes. So that's probably enough for our fridge area. You're probably wondering where we keep our actual pantry food, and we don't actually keep it in the trailer. We keep it in the back of the car, generally in a tub, and Grant showed you in the last video the little setup that we have there, and we keep 2 tubs in there and one of them with food. That works well for us, having the tub, because we just pull that out and put it on a table next to the kitchen once we've set up.
Another thing with the food in the back of the car is if we decide to unhitch and go for a bit of a drive somewhere, we've got food with us. We don't have to think about actively packing nibblies or lunch or whatever. So it's a little system with the way this trailer is set out. It just makes life a little bit easier, because you can take more stuff with you that make life more pleasant.
Yeah.
And you've still got supplies.
Yeah, we also travel with a smaller 40-litre fridge inside the car as well.
Yeah.
So
again, from Aldi, a 40-litre Sterling fridge. Amazing.
Yeah.
Hasn't skipped a beat. While we're on fridges, just quickly, the wiring setup for the fridge in these wasn't wide enough, thick enough, for the current that the big old thirsty Waco wanted. So on our trip, it was constantly in like a standby mode. We had other issues that may have convoluted the whole thing a bit with batteries, but generally speaking, it was trying to suck a smoothie through the smallest straw imaginable. So that's kind of like the analogy I like to use. What we did, we just replaced the wire with a thicker 6mm, I think, 6mm, something like that. Can't remember exactly. I'll figure it out and tell you later. But yeah, by having the thicker cable, it runs fine, but when you're building something like this, it would be great to think of those sort of things so that we don't have to. But anyway, now that it's fixed, it's schmicky dick.
Yeah.
Haven't had any problems with it.
Schmicky dick.
Schmicky dick.
Okay, so the next thing I might just take you inside. From here, come up inside. So this whole section down here slides out. So it has a little lever here, and it comes all the way through. So that slides all the way out. Obviously you can see a lot of windows there, and our bed area up the back there. So this is just quite thick mattress here. It has some straps that you fold everything, and you can keep the bedding on there, and it just folds across when we go to close the camper trailer up. The other things in here, there's a little bit of storage underneath, which I'll insert some clips of, and some battery storage in here, and we have a little gate that we can close. And then there's the lights. So the other thing that we've actually changed, what we've changed in here is we've added some covers for the inside of the window, so we don't have to go outside and close the window. So this wasn't in here originally. We had to take all the canvas off and get someone to add this in for us, and which is great. We can just zip this up from the inside, and we now have block out, and we don't have to go and shut anything up from outside. So this is probably one of our favorite additions that we've done, apart from the little clip on the poles.
So just come around this way. At the business end of the trailer, things we've done to the front is mainly the storage box. So when the trailer comes from the manufacturer, it comes with two 9-kilo gas bottle holders. That's great, and it also comes with two jerry can holders. We didn't need all that. We need one gas bottle holder. That 9-kilo bottle does us ages. All we're doing is cooking. We're not having hot water or anything like that. So that lasted us probably only used a quarter of a bottle, and it lasted us 7 weeks. Easy peasy. So we kept the one, and I got rid of the other gas bottle and jerry can holders and put a box, just a toolbox. It was a cheap one from Bunnings, just a cheap Rhino box. It's been awesome. You can chuck all your blocks and your chocks and whatever else in there. I feel like it needed something like that because I don't know, everyone's different, but I wanted something like that, so that's what I did. I'll just keep a little bucket behind this end of the stone guard. Always need a bucket. That'll get replaced with a collapsible one because why wouldn't you? We have replaced the jockey wheel. The stock jockey wheel didn't really cut the mustard, and the weight of the ball weight of the trailer, while stationary, it broke the axle on the wheel. So it was rooted, properly rooted. So these ARC 750 dual wheel jockey wheels are awesome. If you don't have one, get one. The reasons being is that they are super strong. They are reliable. They extend higher than what the stock ones do. You can adjust the height with a pin on this side. If I come around, you can adjust the height of the main telescopic shaft with this pin here. So I'd probably, I was almost extended. Where we are now, I had the chocks at the bottom just to sort of lift it up nice and level. But generally speaking, we don't need any of that. We just wind it all the way up and it gets level, no dramas. Okay, so with the jockey wheel, if you don't have one, get one. Awesome. They come with a strap winch to open and close the whole tent, the whole trailer. So this is the lid right here. We don't use it. It's there because I don't want to really take it off. And if we're putting the kayaks on the back, they're quite heavy. I use it for that. That's about it. I find that it's just easier for me just to, because I'm quite big, I can just heave-ho it and over she goes. It's all good. But generally, if my back's a bit sore, if I'm feeling a bit weak and tired from a long day travel, Bianca gives me a hand and we winch it over. But so it's good if we need it. Otherwise, we don't really need it. Moving it through.
And Grant is actually really quite tall. I'm not super short. I'm standing in a hole right now, but I'm about what, 5'7", 5'6.5".
She's nipple height.
And Grant is giant. It's not just that I look like I'm 5 foot against him.
So on this side we have 2 storage compartments on the trailer. I picked them up. So on this side we keep the the toilet, the floor for the outside. So it's just like one of those dirt mats that's all sort of a bit holy and all the yucky bits fall through. That's this one here. That's the awning. It usually lives, the roof, the awning roof that lives inside underneath one of the seats. We'll put it back there shortly. So here we also have first aid kit, fire extinguisher, and a 12-volt shower, which I'll show you later. For us, that just works a treat. We don't like the full extravagant hot water system and the shower tent. We have one that came with the trailer itself from GIC, but we don't need it. We don't really need it, so we just use the 12-volt. We boil a kettle, we put it into a bucket, and adjust it with a bit of cold water. It does us fine. It's not extra. It's just as much effort setting up that gas cylinder and the gas heater as boiling a kettle and chucking it in a bucket and using the 12-volt bilge pump. So it's pretty good for us. So this is just where I keep my tools, recovery gear, and jumper leads. Rag. Toolkit, I'll go through that later and I'll tell you what I take and why. But for now, I'll keep going. So just some, what have we got here? Yeah, just the extra lead. I also keep a water hose in this compartment here as well. If you don't have a water hose, it's recommended that you do get one, just to keep your water tasting less yucky. Old Faithful. So everything should have dual purpose. So for us, this just raises and puts down the stabilizer legs just that much faster. And also if we have to change a wheel, awesome. Bit loud, but it's only for a couple of seconds. It's all good. We also have 12-volt LED lighting strips. So this is from Perception Lighting. We got them at a caravan show years ago. There's heaps new, there's lots of different types now. You can get them in recessed PVC pipe sort of things. They look a bit more schmick. They're about the same price, really. They're all the same thing. As long as you have some, it doesn't matter what you get. If it works, beauty. We just keep using that because that's all we had. That's what we bought. It still works. Keep using it. We have the longer leads, like the 4 to 6 meter strips. Sometimes if I'm feeling lazy, I just roll it out, feed it through all the poles in the annex. One plug. These ones have dimmer switches. I can do 2 bars or 4 bars spread out in different directions. I've got a 4-way split attachment, so I can have 4 different leads going off in different directions. It's much more customizable, so that's why I tend to keep that in the trailer. Next to the compartments, we have the control panel. So this just tells us what the batteries are doing, what switches have been thrown, or if any, and also the water gauge. It's pretty self-explanatory. We put an extra switch in for the fridge because we have to run a new lead, and long story. That's that one. Further down we have the water filler port. So this is for the 100-litre water tank that we have on board. Very, very easy to operate, to open and close and fill. And next to it in this port, we have the water pump. It's a little hidey hole that Bianca didn't really know existed. But yeah, it's not something that you need to sort of look at that often. Right here next to me is the boat rack, cargo rack, whatever you want to call it. These are awesome because the trailer itself doesn't have a heck of a lot of internal storage apart from the storage compartments. They're great for the things that you need to take with you. For the things that are bulky that you don't need to but you want to take with you, these are great. Downsides first is that it's heavy, it's a bit clunky, it sticks out a fair bit when you're driving along. You see it in your side view mirrors. You're sort of hoping that you don't sway too much in your lane, but it's not that big of a deal. You get used to it. Once it's loaded, you can put heaps of stuff on there. Nice big bulky items, bikes, boats, extra camping gear, you know, your in-laws, whatever. That's fine. So it works really good, except for these mechanisms. You have to sort of lift it up and kick it out of the way. You'll get one, but then you have to go over and do another one. So it's a two-person operation, I think, for it to be just a little bit easier. I'm going to put a bar across it so you can just sort of grab it, kick it, and throw it over. I've seen some people do that before. Whoever you were, awesome idea. So I'm going to copy that. Imitation's the best form of flattery, they say. So I'll be doing that. So yeah, so that's the boat rack. The wheel carriers down here, they fold down on this model for the bed. Very easy to operate. We haven't needed the spare wheels yet. Touch wood. Mounted to this, we have a hot plate, which I'll show you later. It's just a 3-leg thing that's designed to fit over your wheel, and just a ratchet strap to keep it on there. It's on there, you throw it on, you heat it up, throw a bit of water on it, steam it up, just good to go. When you're done, let it cool down, chuck it back on the wheel, off you go. We don't always use it, but it's good to have it when you need it. Fold it back up and she's all set up, ready to hit the road.
Okay, so we've just done the walk around. So I guess in summary, let's just go through what we love about it and what we have already changed, just to summarize that up for you, and what we would change that we haven't yet thought about, or not. Well, we have thought about it because we're going to tell you about it.
A wish list sort of thing as well. Yeah.
So let's just go through that. So what do we love about it?
Well, we love that it follows us anywhere and everywhere. You know, like you hitch it up. We don't have to think about it. You know, we drive through a track. We do our thing. We have fun. We get to the campsite, and surprise, it's there. So it's pretty good. It's very capable. It's you can tell it with almost anything.
Yeah, and we've taken it. I mean, we took it all the way through the telegraph track, so through every creek crossing. We went. I
wasn't kind to it. Well, I was, but you know, it was the R&D for the company was done up there as well. So I was a bit more relaxed. I didn't really sort of think, oh, I don't want to scratch the paint. I didn't, but I didn't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
So for that, definitely worth the money.
Yeah, and we took it through every creek crossing,
Didn't even
Nolan's
worry
Creek. The only thing, it got like one creek we had like a little bit of water got inside, but other than that, no
I
trouble.
think it was
No
Scrubby
trouble.
Creek or something. Yeah.
And like tiny little bit of dust after all those dust roads. So it's, you know, it's really good off road. We think the overall design of it is really good. We love the forward fold. We love having the bed up on this side and still having the little lounge area to sit down if you need to.
The whole idea of having your living space in the footprint of the trailer.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense to us. Like, you know, the rear folds are great. They fold out behind the trailer. So you've got the combined, like, if you're in a tight campground, for example, or a caravan park, if you have to, you've got the tire length space of the combined vehicle, and then the fold out camping space at the back. So you can you may not fit. Not always. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's just my thinking. These are just so much better for us.
Yeah, and the storage of it, like, it folds up, and we just reverse it back into this shed behind us, and that's it. I have it plugged in and keep it stored there, and, you know, it doesn't really take up a huge amount of space, so and it's no trouble to store, so that's great.
Yep.
Yeah, and the other thing is, like, we paid, I think, about $19,000 for it. It is about a 2016 model.
Yep.
I think they're still about the same price, to be honest. I think it's worth the money that you paid for it, right?
Yeah.
So you could have, at the time, we could have gone and got a slightly more expensive one, which probably would have been slightly better quality, but, you know, this is great. This is great for what it was.
Quality. They sort of came with slightly different design aspects. Maybe one or two. I think at the time, like the other makers, they had like a control panel on this side, things like that. I like slightly nicer finishings on the inside, a toolbox. I think one of them even had a toolbox on the rear wheel protector at the back. Just small things, but for what we spent, for what we got, pretty happy, I gotta say, overall.
Yeah, and that's how much money we had.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't have much more. Before that, we had a soft floor camper trailer and upgraded to this, and, you know, next will be maybe a hybrid or an actual caravan. You know, who knows? Really,
it comes down to what you can afford and what you're willing to live with. There's always going to be a sacrifice, a compromise. For us, it was just the small things, like the finishings and stuff. This was fine. This was great, actually, for what we spent. So overall, we are very happy with it. Each to their own. Everyone has their own dealings with different makers. Like, you'll hear great things, then you'll hear bad things. Depends on who you speak to. We're not going to get into that, but for us, the trailer itself, great.
What have we changed on there already? So we took you through a couple of things. So we changed the awning poles, the little what's that thing? The little clip on it.
Yep.
Instead of I don't know what that's called, but a little clip on there. We've added the internal windows. You added the jockey.
A must to do.
Oh, definitely.
Because they don't come with them. Why, I don't know. I can't tell you. I won't get into it, but do it. It's a fairly inexpensive thing to do. Yes, they should do it, but just do it.
Yep. You added the front toolbox.
Front toolbox.
The jockey wheel.
So the toolbox was just sort of, it was my preference to have something on the drawbar just for extra stuff. Not adding too much weight, obviously, but just you don't have to do it. It's always fun.
We did this windbreak. We did the cutlery drawer we changed, and we changed the cabling in for the fridge. That's about it that we have changed.
That's all we've changed, I think.
What would we change in the future, or what would we do slightly differently? I think the first thing we'd probably do slightly differently is maybe not go for the Patron. So we love this, but we would have gone for the smaller Dominator instead of the Patron. we thought that we would use this extra space and the dogs would sleep down that end, but in truth, they sleep on the bed with us.
We thought,
Anyway,
oh, yeah, people will come and stay with us and stuff while we're out adventuring. No, we had delusions of grandeur. We thought that, you know, we need the space. We don't.
Yeah.
We don't need it. So in hindsight, the Dominator, the one step down that doesn't fold out the back, that's the one we should have gone for.
Yeah.
But
and I think it's about $3,000 difference, something like that.
Yeah, it was back then.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure of the price now, but we definitely would have probably gone with the Dominator instead of the Patron. If you don't have 4 people, don't get the Patron, because you are basically just spending extra time setting up a space that you're not going to use.
I need to mention this whole side, it's on a big drawer, so it slides in and it takes up the footwell. So inside you've got the U seating area. You can't really put anything underneath or in there because that drawer takes up that space. The slide rather. That's why the Dominator would have been beneficial for us, because we could just chuck some stuff in around the seating, close the thing up, and we're off and try it.
Yeah. So that's something we would have done differently. What we're going to probably look at in the future is getting something that's a bit more suited to longer term travel.
Yeah.
So the longest we've done in this is 7 weeks, which was amazing. And we pretty much set up and pack up every day except for maybe 5 days of the 7 weeks. And, you know, it was fine. It was not a trouble at all.
And that was just us too. It wasn't with the dogs. So it was a bit easier in that regard. We were thinking along the terms of traveling long term, we would probably have to take the dogs. We would have to take the dogs.
Can't leave them.
Can't leave them. Wouldn't.
No, we're not leaving you.
Couldn't think about it. So if we want to go off and do some shopping, for example, we can't just lock them in the canvas trailer, because that guy over there would just bust right out. So something with walls would be good. And obviously, because we wouldn't be living at home, we'd probably rent the house out. The trailer would be our home.
Yeah.
So we want something to take all the stuff with us. So.
But I guess the next thing is, if we keep this, what would we want to do a little bit different or change going forward? So
the thing for Bianca would be.
The thing for me.
Storage.
Would be storage. Storage. I don't know if I can necessarily change that in here, but I would probably have to go through and just cull down some of the stuff that I have and really think about using the storage a little bit better to make sure we get the best use out of what we've got. And then for Grant.
For me would be by far and wide the better hitch. The Polyblock Treg hitch, it does the job, you know, like it's pretty, could you, the Polyblock hitch is great. It's a bit annoying to sort of try and line up and stab the pin in there and put the other pin through the big pin. The DO35 is probably what I would go to, because it's just so much more user friendly. Other trailers have it. It's all personal preference. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
And also the internal lighting. So the way it's set up, it's good. It works. It's functional. But I mean,
well, one side's functional.
One side's functional. But it's one of those things, you know, like you go camping long enough, you figure out what suits you and what doesn't. And unless you've got bucket loads of cash to buy something that has exactly what you want, you're gonna have to just find something, compromise, and change it to suit you
when you get funds.
When you get funds. So that's what we've done. That's what we would continue to do. So that's what we would do, changing the lighting, and that's about it, really.
I think that's about it. So not much. So I guess in summary, it's a pretty good trailer. We, any type of forward fold trailer, recommend to anybody who is going out weekend trips, maybe having some trips that you're going to go for a couple of weeks at a time. I don't think I'd recommend it for full-time living. It's probably not practical for that, but we think it's great. Like, absolutely love the outdoor kitchen setup. We love that you can carry your water there. It's got a running tap. Like, we just put clothes and food in the car.
And also, if you're new to towing, this is something that we'll touch on in future videos, is the ease of towing this. It's just
I tow it. I can tow it.
Yeah, with no dramas at all.
So it's fine.
But don't sell yourself short. You're quite good at it. But
I don't know about reversing it, but I can tow it.
Well, you haven't had much practice, because I tend to do it. Because I'm always driving. I tend to do most of the reversing and driving. Sorry. It's a really easy thing to transition from a little box trailer. It's essentially a beefed up box trailer on steroids.
Yeah.
That's what it drives like. That's what it tows like. So if you're a bit worried about going from a soft floor box trailer to something a bit bigger for the family, don't. It's just it's a small adjustment, and we'll go through some tips and tricks that we've picked up for towing a slightly heavier trailer.
Yeah, we'll do that in another video.
Yeah.
But I mean, I towed this on the Telegraph track myself, so it's pretty capable. So he is a pretty good teacher, you know, just quietly.
Just putting it out there.
But that's about it. So I think that's a wrap up for the review. You know, ultimately, if this suits your lifestyle, go get one. If you want to see more content from us, and we're planning to do more videos when we can actually go out and travel, and it's not everybody's in isolation, we'll do that. So hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, anything else that you think we can change, do better,
any questions,
any feedback on the trailer. Have you got one? What have you changed on yours?
We'd like to know, actually. That'd be really handy.
Because we check out the Facebook pages and see what other people have added, and it's always great to see what other people have. So great, definitely leave a comment about if you have one, what have you changed, or if you're thinking about one, ask us a question, we can let you know. Right, see you next time.
See you guys. Oh, good jump. Good jump for a nugget.
Hi. Hey, Baba.